what's up? We're still under the covers. This is part 2. We've got Allie here. We got Biggy here. And then also we have me here. If you haven't watched part 1, I'm sure I'll figure out how to put it right there. Actually, I think it's over there.
Could be here.
It'll be
Could
somewhere. It'll be somewhere on the screen.
Anywhere.
Go click it. Go watch that, and then come right back.
Perfect.
Y'all know where the sun is? Shut up. But I don't know.
Ty would do that a lot. She would ask about the sun.
Shane too.
Yeah.
Jonah, there was one time I had to pull Jonah aside. I'd be like, hey, Chief, you know what you're saying? You know, some people don't know how to do it, so let's maybe pop down a little bit there.
I think I'm the one. I think I taught Jonah.
You taught Jonah. Yeah.
I feel like in the bottom of my heart,
you
I
do
liked
that.
Jonah and I felt bad for him and he was so sad and upset. And I sat in the corner and I was like, look,
The biggest
rises
thing
in
is,
the east, sets in the west. Like, how do you not already know that though? Like,
Yeah.
the biggest reason why though is like in a game like this, you are looking for any advantage possible. Like anything that gives you a slight edge, and like that's just about it. Like that thing was just about it. Outside of like winning challenges and getting clues, like that was it. And so yeah.
I feel like I was so hung up on social game and I wanted to have people in my corner. So if helping Jonah remember that the sun rises in the east and sets in the west would help Jonah like me,
for sure.
I was going to be like, all right, I'm going to tell Jonah about this. And I did like Jonah as a person.
Yeah.
So I felt like being nice and having people in my corner if it meant talking about the sun a little bit. But I feel like
I had the opposite strategy. I was just like, I just trying to figure out where I am.
And how did that work out for you? I'm just kidding. She wins. She wins it all. I'm just kidding. All right, I'm gonna.
Wait, did you have a strategy coming in, like in terms of what your vibe was?
So I wanted to seem, just after watching the Belgian version, I assumed that there would be no like voting system.
Yeah.
So I wanted to seem like as big of a threat as possible. And I have a background in sales, so I wanted to try to just play the social game like as best as I possibly could, and just get as many people on my side. And you know, obviously, like if you seem like a threat and you seem like you're knowledgeable, obviously that's going to help you because people are going to come to you with clues and that kind of stuff. Just kind of pick your brain, and then in the meantime, I'm just collecting all the shit, like you know. So yeah, that was the social thing was a big part for me for sure.
Yeah.
Just from a clue standpoint, because like that's all the game is clues.
Yeah, for sure.
Fast forwarding again. Olive oil. I feel like that is crazy. I feel like the only reason people maybe would have thought olive oil is because maybe at that point you were thinking Italy, but I think nobody really thinks of olive oil when you think of green, black, hot, or cold. Everyone I know immediately
Hot or
thought
cold
of green
is
tea.
Bananas.
Yeah.
No, that
To
makes
throw in
no
there.
sense
Cold
for olive oil.
What are you doing with that?
No, who in their right mind would not think? Now, granted, that's on me because I don't even think I read the last line.
I didn't
to be
either.
honest
I saw black or green, hot or cold tea. Didn't read the rest of the
I
sentence.
cannot even begin to tell you how good it made me feel to watch the episode and be like, okay, Mack is also a dumbass.
Yeah. Well, I had 15 minutes. I didn't have time to read 3 sentences. I didn't have those seconds.
I thought that was a crazy clue. I feel like hot or cold makes no sense. If they said maybe hot and room temperature, who uses cold? Like they don't keep olive oil in the fridge.
No, yeah. That was
crazy.
that part of it was a little
we
nuts,
dumb
and I guess
because everybody at my work was like, we immediately knew olive oil.
I'll watch reality TV shows or something, and I'm like, oh, dude, these people are idiots. But like when you're in that moment and your heart is going like 180 beats per minute, and your brain does not work anymore, it's a little more difficult.
Yeah, you don't have the luxury to be like, let me think about this, because at least, I mean, probably for you, but also for me, I was like, okay, first thing pops in my head, I gotta run with it because I literally am on the move already.
Yeah.
I can't sit here and think about it and run through.
Well, also I think it's strange because they don't sell green olive oil or black olive oil. They just sell olive oil. There's green and black olives.
Sure.
Well,
but
the thing that threw me off the most was just the hot or cold, though. That was where I immediately thought tea, like hot tea or cold tea. That's like,
and it was like,
for sure.
I was like,
And,
dang,
like,
I got
green
this
tea
in
leaves,
1
black tea,
second. Crush.
Yeah,
I'm
for
proud of
sure.
myself.
That brings me though to the Roman numerals.
yeah.
Obviously I know you looked for the 4. What was going through your mind with the Roman numerals?
The first one I grabbed was X, because I was like, oh, you know, Destination X, maybe that's it. Tried that, didn't work. And then honestly, I just went into full panic. I don't even think I looked until like the very end at the sign that was right over our heads.
It took, because there was a lot that was cut out, but you tried many different keys before I even tried one.
Like no joke, probably 20.
Yeah, and I remember being like, the first couple you tried, I was like, what am I missing? Like, what am I missing? Like, this guy's just running through keys. And so then eventually I was like, I gotta take a step back.
That was full panic.
Yeah.
Just full panic had set in, and I just absolutely full sent it. Like, that was I don't even, dude. My brain at that point was so fried from just like, and my anxiety was ripping, foot hurting.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Biggie breaks his foot during that challenge.
Literally broken.
Literally
had
broken.
an X-ray later on, back in the States.
And by that challenge, the adrenaline was starting to wear off. And I'm not looking to make excuses. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm not an excuse guy. But if I was, I would say that was a big part of the problem. But the foot was absolutely toasted. And then by the end of that challenge, after it was over, my foot, I could not put any weight on it. We were in the van eating like roast beef and lasagna, and I was like, I had my goggles on, and I was eating it, and I could like feel my heartbeat in my foot, and I was like, shit. I was like, not only did this happen, now I got to go tell them that I got 1 out of 5, which is like terrible. And
After they're
gonna think, yeah,
We crushed down in the well.
Close. And they're going to think when I come hobbling back on this bus, I am the biggest pussy ever. So I was like, dude, my game is toast. Yeah, that was what a way to start off the.
What content
My next question was, you were pretty jacked getting on the bus. Like, were you training heavy before the bus, or like you were taking up a lot of space?
Yeah, Beef Castle Biggie was what I was going for, to be honest with you. No, I actually wasn't as big as I wanted to be.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I feel like any bigger would have been too much.
Well, I really wanted to, like, honestly, I worked out when I got the call, which it was only like 2 months. So I was like, if these are going to be physical, one, if the challenges are going to be physical, I need to be able to compete. 2, if I got to take my shirt off, I don't want to embarrass myself.
Yeah.
And so, unfortunately, so far, no physical challenges. So,
And no wet t-shirt contest or anything.
So no
Not
six-pack
yet.
Biggie.
Not yet.
Not yet. Check
Maybe
out
it's
next
coming.
episode of Under the Covers with Biggie.
Yeah,
Wet
maybe it's
t-shirt
coming
contest.
up.
How did you get into? Well, this is such a curveball. How'd you get into skits and doing social media and stuff?
I've like always enjoyed to make people laugh. I love making people laugh ever since I watched Ace Ventura: Pet Detective when I was a kid with Jim Carrey. I was like, I want to be Jim Carrey. And so
It's a good one.
Yeah, and so I finished college. I was working in a furniture warehouse while I was in college, and then I got out of that. I got into sales. I was in outside sales.
I feel like you'd be good at
You sold
sales.
the outdoors.
Yeah. No, outside sales is
You
in,
guys heard of
Like
trees?
door to door?
I got you a ficus over here. We got a nice pine. So I was in sales, selling flooring, which is like boring, but it was good. I was pretty good at it. And then I got into a management role, and then I say all that to say, like, at the same time I was doing Cook the Book. I was making videos, doing like sports betting content, and I basically was just like, look, if I want to be good at this and if I want to be successful at it, I'm gonna have to go all in on it. So I did like 2 years ago, and I don't know, I love writing skits. I love making them. My favorite thing is seeing like the people's reactions to them, being like, this is funny as shit. Like, that's like the best feeling in the world. So yeah.
My brother, one of my brothers actually knew who Biggie was. He was like, this guy's hilarious, because they love football, so, and baseball. Actually, they love. Gavin watches all of it, but yeah. So you've got a broad audience all over the place, and you've blown up a lot even since the show wrapped.
Yeah, it was good because in addition, that was what was like toughest, is because I post every single day on Instagram, at least typically multiple times a day. And so in the 2 months leading up to it, not only was I studying to go on the show, but we had to film not only the content we were doing then, but a full month in advance.
Oh, so you were
Of skits,
really
too.
booked up.
Yeah, so while I was on the show, I have a guy who works with me, shout out Tricky. he was handling all that, just posting everything that we'd already done. And then I mean, I went on the it's been good after the show.
By the end of it, who did you think was going to win the whole thing? If you were to be placing your bet.
You for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Just solely based off of like your strategy, the moves that you made early on, I was like, you know, if I had to put my money on somebody, then it would be you. It would not have been Kim, because Kim slept. So I was like, honestly, Kim, no shot. But that was early on, and let me tell you something. My opinion changed a lot on everybody. So
I love Kim so much. We're all Kim fans.
I do want to say this. Maybe she's in my top 3 humans of all time.
Yeah, for sure. Easily.
Easily,
Kim is one of my favorite people I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see her soon. Kim, I love you.
What person do you think your opinion changed about the most? Like in terms of like, oh, I got this person so wrong episode 1.
Probably you again.
Okay,
probably you, yeah.
I think I'll pick you too.
Yeah, because I was like, I looked at you and I was like, you know, she's trying to play this game by herself. I was like, I couldn't get a read on you.
That's how I felt. I was like, this guy doesn't want to talk to me.
yeah, and I was like, I just do not know about her. And then by the end of it, you know, by the end of my time on the bus, it was like, you know, maybe I could trust her. You know, we'll see.
Maybe. Who knows?
Who is to say?
Yeah.
Could be enemies.
Could be enemies.
Could be besties.
100% could be.
Could be in bed. Who knows?
We could be in bed
Who do you think is exactly the same as your impression of them on the bus, off the bus, like now? Like who do you think that
was playing themselves
completely?
I'll tell you who is like the opposite is
Okay.
I think Josh.
Interesting.
Is like the opposite. Like I see him. Honestly, I think he's like a really nice guy, to be honest with you. I just want to throw that out there. But on the bus, you know, he was loud and that kind of stuff. Like it did not show the 9 speeches he gave to the entire bus. If you'll remember that.
I do.
But
it's
subject of many
interesting
of those
because
speeches.
I thought Josh was so sweet and nice. And
he had different intentions with you.
But also he was being so sweet to Jonah and like.
No, he was very nice. I could just tell he was like a game player, like he was, you know, that kind of thing. But
okay, then, but who was exactly the same?
I think exactly the same. Oh God, that's a good question.
Like maybe you thought they were great. They're great outside the bus. Maybe you thought they were annoying on the bus. They're annoying off the bus.
The obvious answer is Kim for sure.
Yeah.
I think she
Or Jonah.
would not. Yeah, or Jonah. Mm-hmm. She would not change for anybody. So I think
even if you begged her.
Kim. Yeah.
Even if you offered her $250,000 and a bus trip to the beaches of Europe, she's not gonna change.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, Kim for sure. Kim is like the most. She's just genuine. Just what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
So you said Josh is the opposite of what you thought.
Well, yeah, I think. Well,
so would you say you were most
hard
wrong
because he
about
was
Josh?
I mean,
out of everyone?
Actually, no, because he was on the bus for like 2.5, 3 days. So like, that's really not even enough time to get to know him. I could just tell he was a strategic guy. Like, tried to play it hard, and then you know I see stuff in real life, and it's like, you know, he's like a nice guy, but I don't know.
I agree. I would agree with that because I feel like he was kind of. Again, I think he had a different relationship with the rest of us.
For sure.
Like I thought he was loud and obnoxious on the bus, and like not like a mean person, like
right,
but like just kind of like, oh my gosh. But like in real life, it's like, dang, this guy's super sweet. Like he's a softie. I feel like in real life, but I didn't get that impression.
100%.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's perfect way to put it.
But also, I didn't have a matching necklace with him.
Perception. That's so interesting. Man, I feel like we should ask more bus questions like that, but I only have one non-bus related question.
There we go.
What I've got, unless you have a bus question still.
I think I'll have 2, but they're not specific. They're kind of big picture questions.
Okay, then you can do that first.
Okay.
I'll wrap up with my silly question.
Okay. Is there anything left out of episode 1 that you wish hadn't been, but that's not too crazy specific that we'll get sued?
One of the strategies I ended up having about who we should send in the map room.
Expand.
Because I ended up saying we should send you. I was like, if 4 of us are going in and all of us are right, I was like, this may be our only chance to get out Mack the entire time.
Yeah.
So.
I was so scared y'all were sending me the map room.
I know. I wanted to so bad.
Yeah. And I wanted to save you so bad.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That was. I forgot that. That was like you were in a tough position there.
Yeah.
It's like, and honestly, I don't blame you for doing what you did either. To be honest,
Thanks.
like, cause that was you and Allie. At that point, like that was the closest connection that you had.
Yeah.
So far.
For sure.
So it's like, yeah, I don't blame you at all.
I just think it would have looked bad. Obviously I
save you?
agree that you would have looked bad, but after hearing Josh and Ty be like, if I stay on this show and she doesn't save you, like I will never trust her. I was like, well, she's gonna ruin her own game.
Yeah.
No one will socially trust her.
But I didn't care so much about being trusted socially because I was under the impression that I would just know everything on my own. So like the social game was never part
But
of
in
my
hindsight-
strategy. But no, the reason I changed to you was because I didn't want to be in the map room. Not because I cared about people trusting me.
Gotcha.
And I didn't know where we were.
Right.
Gotcha.
Like I wasn't confident.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. Do you have
She's
another
still,
bus
she's
question?
still mad about it. It's been 7 months. It comes up all the time.
That doesn't come up all the time.
At least once a week.
We live together.
Sure.
Roomie.
I think the only roommate. I think the only other question I really had was just like in general, what was the best and what was the worst part for you?
The best part was how good of sleep I actually got in those bunks. I slept better on
Hell
those
yeah.
bunks than I slept in my entire life. It was perfect. It was pitch black. Got 2 little AC units blow right on my face. The thing was like 6.5 feet. Fit perfect, almost like a coffin. Slept great on that. Best part was just hanging out with everybody. Specifically, well, you'll see. But just hanging out with everybody and like building like, genuine relationships with everybody. That was, I laughed harder on the bus than I've laughed in like forever. Like we had so many funny conversations and there's no way all of them are going to air, but like just the whole experience is like, you cannot replicate it. And so it was like that was my world for the amount of time that I was on the show. And it's like, it was sick. So honestly, just that have I already answered what I hated?
You didn't. You had 2 best.
Yeah, that was awesome. What did I hate? I hated the fucking map room. That's the worst. No, I'll tell you what I actually hated. After going into the map room, sitting down on there, the pause of Jeffrey announcing who was going home.
Horrible.
My heart has never in my life. I thought I was gonna have a panic attack. That was.
Yeah.
It felt like 3 hours. And
Every
I could
time.
feel my heart in my asshole. And I already knew it. I already had it played out in my head. I already had his voice playing Biggy. And I was like, no. And so, I don't know. That was the worst. Because the map room sucked. Because no matter what you think, like no matter what kind of things you've put together in your head, it's like once you get in there, you second guess everything.
Yeah, once you like see
It's impossible not to.
Yeah.
Very true. To wrap up this episode of Under the Covers, just in case we've got some famous team owners or NFL players watching, who is your dream collab player or team?
It's a good question.
Thank you.
Question. Whew. Damn.
Because they could be watching.
They could. They could be. They do be.
What else do be? We're gonna find out.
If that answers your question.
Honestly, I don't know. Probably my boy. Probably my boy Lad. Shout out Lad. Honky McConky. Ladidi.
I have no idea what that means. And
It's
I don't need to.
All
If
right.
they're watching it, they'll know.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you for watching.
Watch Destination X. Don't miss it. It's so good. It's
It's
an incredible
so
show.
good.
Yeah,
Every
I love
Tuesday
it.
this
Just wait
summer.
until some drama gets going.
It's
Because plenty
we're
of drama
just
gets
getting
going, and it gets
started.
so much better.
It gets so much better with the drama.
Ooh-wee.
It's gonna be a
Cool.
good one.